Hi guys, good morning. It's morning time. It's about 5 a.m. and I'm up trying to make breakfast to get that out of the way before the children are up. And so I figured I'd come on and share with you my instant pot, one of my instant pot porridges. It's super easy and it's with millet. If this is your first time viewing, thank you for joining. And if it's not your first time viewing, welcome back. Guys, please remember to hit the notification bell. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe, like the video, share if you feel impressed to do so. What else? Oh yeah, very important. I'd like to make it very clear that in my kitchen I use a lot of herbs and spices and maybe some ingredients that might interact with certain medications. All right, so if you're taking medications or you have a diagnosis that you're not sure if certain things might interact with you, please do your research. My platform is no different from any other YouTuber. I'm just sharing, what I do in my kitchen to the best of my knowledge. I don't want to be responsible for it causing any harm to anyone. So please do your research. Sometimes herbs or even spices have adverse effects on with certain, if you're taking certain medications. So be mindful of that, guys. All right. I'd hate to be responsible for something that happens to you. What else? That's about it for now. So let's get right into it. All right. Okay guys, so here is my millet that had been soaking in the refrigerator overnight in some spring water. It does not double in size, so don't be surprised when you don't see your millet doubling in size. I rinsed it really well and I set it in this strainer, allow it to drain before I use it. I still soaked it because, they say it's a grain and you're supposed to soak your grains and your seeds and whatnot. I'm going to be adding in some coriander powder, some salt, some 5-spice powder, some cinnamon, some whole milk, cow's milk. And I'm using apples as my fruit of choice today, but you can use pineapples. You can also use frozen fruits, guys. It breaks down really nice in the Instant Pot, nice and tender. Going to also be using some pumpkin seeds, some ashwagandha powder, and some slippery elm. So here's my Instant Pot. I'm going to go ahead and dump in my millet, right? And then I am going to add enough water to make sure that the water level sits about an inch above my millet. All right, so enough water so it sits an inch above the millet. Then I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of this whole cow's milk. Now you can use plant-based milk if you choose to. You don't have to use any milk. You can just add another 1.5 cups of water. If you want to, you can use yogurt. Here I'm adding in my pumpkin seeds. And then I'm going to be adding in a teaspoon of salt, a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1/4 teaspoon of 5-spice, 1 tablespoon of slippery elm, and 1/2 tablespoon of ashwagandha powder. Now you want to make sure that ashwagandha powder does not have any adverse effect with whatever you might be taking as far as medication and stuff. So read up on it, do your research on ashwagandha and see the benefits and the interactions and so on. Then I'm dumping in my apples. You can also use any grain you like: kamut, spelt, rice, white rice, brown rice, any berries you like, you can use in here. Your steel cut oats, regular oats. Make sure it's old-fashioned oats though, because the instant oats will cook up too fast and then you'll just have a mush to deal with. And you also want to check on the carbs. Very important if you're counting carbs, because I'm not sure how many carbs are in millet, but I know it's very nutritious. So that's why it's one of my choices for my instant pot porridges or hot cereal, whatever you want to call it. So now I'm going to set it on pressure. And then I'm going to set it on the highest setting for pressure for 12 minutes. And then when it's done, I'll return. No, very important. You want to make sure that when this thing beeps to see that it's finished, you don't rush over and try to open the spot, because it's still filled, it's under pressure, right? So make sure that it cools down before you open this thing. All right. So when it's done, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, guys. So my pot had beeped, right? And I allowed it to cool down, and so now I'm gonna open it up, and there we are. Everything is all nice and mushy and soft. See that? And so you can add warm milk to this if you want, right? Or even cold milk, because it's piping hot at this time. And this is the way I like it. Now, if you still want your grains to be intact, right? As soon as it beeps, you can force it to let the pressure out. And I know you probably read your ingredients on your machine, but the way to force the pressure out is to press this down and allow the pressure to be forced out, right? And then this thing is gonna fall when all the pressure is out. Hey, Daddy. It's gonna fall when all the pressure is out, okay? And so you'll still have some of your grains intact, but because I allowed my thing to cool down completely, the grains are tenderized to the max, which is the way we like it, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some in my bowl for you to see. And a serving is about a little bit more than a quarter cup, right? And that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna add a little milk to this. Okay, guys, so I'm going to the table so I can test and show you. So I'm gonna be adding some milk to this, and if you've been taking notice, nuts of my choice are pecans. So I'm gonna add some pecans to my Daddy.
Yes, dear.
You want some nuts with yours, or?
Yes, I need some nuts.
Will you use the walnut, because I just use the last of the pecans.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm adding just a little bit of milk, right? And here we are. Nice and warm. Just a nice mush. You know where the nuts are? In the jar? In the jar over there? You can see by the label, the walnuts. The walnuts is soft, so you can handle that. So here it is, guys. It looks like. Surprisingly sweet, right? Because of the apples. Now you can use the green apples the Granny Smith apples if you like that. But I prefer to use the Honey Crisp because it's sweet. So guys, as usual, sorry for talking with food in my mouth, but it's the nature of this situation. But it's nice and delicious. Nice for a cold morning. So until next time, God bless. Continue to have a wonderful day. And how could I be talking to the world without saying something to you guys for the Lord? Remember that the Lord loves us unconditionally. Remember that He expects us to worship Him in spirit and in truth. Remember that daily, those of us who are already Christians, who are already on the battlefield, we need to ask for a daily baptism of the Holy Spirit so that He can give us His gifts. And the gifts of the Spirit, I think it's in Galatians 5, one of those verses. Love meekness, long suffering, peace. We need all of these things, especially in these last days. So for those of us who are already Christians, you know how important these things are. It helps us, as inspiration tells us, to live in close communion with heaven. And so I pray that as you pray today, that you'll make your request. One of your requests will be to ask for an outpouring of the Holy Spirit. All right. So until next time, God bless. I'm speaking low because the children aren't up yet, and really want them to stay and get all their sleep until it's time for them to get up. The minute they hear me talking, then they would hop out of bed, and sometimes it's too early for them. So anyway, until next time, walk good. Bye.